out where you're supposed to be and spending time there. And if you're where you're supposed to be, you're never gonna feel like you're missing out. And I really care about the development and growth of young people. Passion is around developing young professionals in their careers and making sure that they're being successful doing it. 2 ways of joining Teach for America. You can join our teacher corps, which means that you're committing to teach for 2 years in a low-income community anywhere in the country. The other way you can think about Teach for America is by joining our staff. So whether you're a seasoned professional or if you're straight out of college and you want to get some administrative experience, you can consider applying to our staff. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Teach for America is a fantastic organization, one, because it's driven by a certain skill and interest and involvement and belief in core values, right? Core values ranging from diversity to leadership to transformational change. And this isn't an organization that just talks about core values, but it actually believes in them, and the people that are working there are working very hard to embody and to live up to them every day. It is a place that I have found, you know, you don't have to have education experience to be successful, whether you're coming into the classroom or if you're coming on staff. You've got some experience, education experience in some way. It could be helpful to you when you're thinking about the classroom route because you're more familiar with being in front of kids and, you know, teaching and that sort of thing. But there are still obviously opportunities within our organization where you get trained and coached and supported to be the best that you can when you're in front of your classes. The mentors that I had, and I shouldn't say had, but the mentors I still have. I've always been someone who is going to seek the outside help of others, and I've had fantastic women and men who've coached me throughout my professional career. I got involved in leadership opportunities in my church, in my community, through other service projects. If there were opportunities at school to do extracurricular activities, those were the things that pushed me as a young person to understand more of my natural skill set towards leadership. It helped me to build my skill around communicating effectively with others, how to just engage with people, how to problem solve, right, in a productive way. And so I encourage people, young adults, and then also people who are even younger, young teens, to think about now how you're not just thinking about school in a siloed way, but you're thinking about, okay, what can I do to be involved in school and to give back and to connect with other people? Because you will start to see a trend in who you are through that. Also, I think benefited from experiences like the one I'm in now. So I'm working with NYU and I'm at their Graduate School for Public Service, the Wagner School, and it's a program called Ignite. And it is a program that's focused on growing the leadership development of women of color. We've got mentors and partners, we're taking classes, webinars. There have been other formal sessions that we go through, and any opportunities like that that are centered around the thing that you were looking for. So for me, it was leadership development. I found that those programs that are formally designed, right, and that have a curriculum are very helpful because they will push you. So if you're feeling a little lost or feeling like, well, where do I even start? How do I get connected to something? I think one of the things you want to do is look at people who are doing something similar to what you think you'd want to do. Start to assess some people that you do know, even if you don't know them personally, but look them up on the web, right? If you've seen them on television before, if you've seen them in your community, try to do a little bit of research to understand their path. And then I would say from there, use the information you find on the internet to reach out and connect. You will find that most people, overwhelmingly, are excited and interested in helping someone else. They would love to answer questions you have around, like, how did they get to where they did? What was challenging about it? What specific resources did they use, right? Was it a link that they saw, an article that they read? Those kinds of things. So people are very, very open. I think it's about, you know, pushing yourself to look up the information, learning more about the individuals that are where you want to be, and then working backwards from there. There's a danger in the world we're in now where social media dictates so much of what we think is cool, or what's acceptable, or even what progress looks like. And so the thing I would encourage people to remember is that what you're gonna see on Instagram, Facebook, what have you, will always be the most pleasant aspect of someone's life. It's it's not going to be the standard that everyone's gonna put all their dirt, all their mess out on Facebook. And that was something I had to remember, because there was a time, I think, when I was earlier in my career and I had just moved to New York and I was making some great progress, but was seeing some of the things that my other friends were doing, still back in North Carolina, like the development of their families. And that wasn't what I was doing. Like, I wasn't getting married at the time. I wasn't, you know, about to buy a house because I was paying rent in New York City and it was more expensive than their mortgage, and that was a lot to process. But the thing that helped me get through comparing myself to someone else was realigning myself to what my purpose was. Like, what is the thing that I know God wants me to do? What am I uniquely positioned to do and to bring into the world? And that's what I'm going to focus on. And if I'm focused on that, I can celebrate what else someone else is doing in their unique way and contribute to that, and not be worried about, oh, it looks like she's doing this or he's doing this and I'm not. Can't be worried about that. Yes. I am very proud that I've grown to the place where the whole FOMO thing, you know, that we hear about, the fear of missing out, I think I'm shedding that skin. Like, I don't know if it's New York City, I don't know if it's being in your 30s or what have you, but at some point you just realize life is a cycle. There will be ups, there will be downs, there's gonna be a lot of really cool stuff that you'll get to do. It's an ebb and flow, and you don't have to be at every brunch, at every party, at every concert, at every premiere to experience a great life. And so again, I think it's about finding out where you're supposed to be and spending time there. And if you're where you're supposed to be, you're never gonna feel like you're missing out. And that clicked with me about, I'd say, like a year or two ago. And I realized someone else can say it was the best night of their life. I'm sure it was, that's great. I didn't have to miss it, it's cool. Hard work mattered. And when I say hard work mattered, I don't mean hard work in the sense of the colloquial grind, hashtag I'm on it, hashtag putting in work, all that. What I would love to see more of is the behind the scenes work of what it really takes people to be successful. So the real hard work and the grind, not just the hashtags when it looks great. The after effects or the symptoms of working hard. I want to see what is it taking for people to get to where they are, so other people can see that the day-to-day that they're going through that seems to be annoying, redundant, and just not glorious, it matters. Like, that's the day-to-day stuff that actually gets you to where you're supposed to be. I want people to feel, and this is what I feel like is uniquely tied to me, I want people to feel really good and hear more about what happens when people are truly being who they are. They're not pretending to be someone else, they're not, putting on a cloak that someone else has given them to hide who they are. But the more that we are genuinely ourselves and that we live according to the purpose that is unique within us, we are liberating other people to do the same thing. And so that is what I want to see more of. My biggest inspiration is seeing other people be in their sweet spot, as I say. My mom and I use this term, but it is just, when I see someone who is feeling very joyous, you can see that it's almost like sparks are flying off their body because they're just in their zone. I love it. If you're a school teacher and you're connecting with kids and teaching them new concepts in a way that just lights them up, or you're coaching someone in a particular area and you're getting it, I'm so motivated by that. I love being around people who are where they're supposed to be, because it just reminds me that I can do the same thing. I also want to say that Jovian has the unique ability to tap into the authenticity that lies within, and that she creates a very vulnerable and honest relationship between others. And because of her ability to do that, she pushes people to be their best selves, the best version of who they are. I want everyone to remember that life has its ups and downs, its ebbs and flows. Some days it will be beautiful, the other days it'll be ugly, and that is a fact. Look at it as a fact. It doesn't matter if you live in Columbia, South Carolina, or you live in New Hampshire, or you're living in Miami Beach. It's tough, but it will also be glorious sometimes. And because of that, there's no reason to compare and to think that what you're seeing out there in the world is exactly what you have to have for yourself. But we're all living, while similar lives in some aspects, they're different, and we all have different challenges. And the things that could seem exciting to one person may also be very boring to the next, because it's their routine, it's their reality. Motivated by the fact that the things that you're doing that you know are part of your purpose and that are part of your responsibilities to be successful, you're focused on them. So generate energy towards the things that are aligning with your purpose, and don't worry about trying to compare yourself to someone else's light or dull someone else's light. Because I will tell you, the moment that you try to steal someone else's shine or take them out is the exact moment that you look dull.
I ran up on her on the street because I really feel like she's inspirational to so many of us, myself included, who might just kind of feel a little caught up in life and feeling a little stagnant, or inertia is taking over and you don't really know which way to go. out. So no, I hope you found inspiration in this. So thank you, love.
Thank you.
Hugs. All right, deuces, guys.